Dear people watching and listening, Assalamu alaikum. Kindly like and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please support my channel by contributing to my Patreon account so that I can continue making the audiobook series. Uqba had taken about as much of Africa as had been taken before by Abdullah bin Saad and Muawiyah bin Hudad, but he had come to stay. He understood very well that his army was like an island of Islam in a sea of Berbers and Romans. He had already converted a large number of Berbers, but if the Muslims went back again, his efforts would be wasted, and there would be little encouragement for future conversion. Moreover, ahead of him lay the rest of the continent, the Maghrib, for which a major expedition would have to be mounted some day. All this needed a base, something permanent which would act as a center of Islam in Africa. A cantonment of sorts already existed in the region west of Susa, built by Muawiyah bin Hudad, and the Muslims had already moved from Kafsa to this area. But this was not quite what they wanted. There would have to be a better place. Uqba wanted a city, but not this one. He assembled his troops. Lo, he addressed them. The people of this land have no character. When the sword is laid upon them, they submit. When the Muslims go away, they return to their own ways and their own religion. When a Muslim leader enters Africa, they accept his call to Islam. But when he returns, those who had accepted the religion of Allah revert to disbelief. I see it as your task, O Muslims, to build a city in Africa which will give power to Islam till the end of time. All agreed to the proposal. They were all keen that a city should be built, and that they should garrison it as defenders of the frontier. Let us go near the sea, said the men to Uqba in their enthusiasm. Thus we can guard the frontier as well as fight the holy war. This was not quite what Uqba had in mind. He saw the dangers inherent in building a city at the edge of the sea, its vulnerability to the Roman fleet, which was still a powerful force in the Mediterranean. He explained this to his men. I fear that the Lord of Constantinople might attack it by surprise and capture it. Let us leave between the city and the sea more space than a naval commander can cover without his movement being known. And if there is so much space between it and the sea that prayers do not have to be shortened, then we remain defenders of the frontier. Again the men agreed. Since no one liked the place which Muawiyah had chosen as a settlement, Uqba led his men out and brought them to a place full of vegetation and trees and undergrowth. The area was apparently covered with jungle or marsh. It promised to be full of unpleasant creatures that run and crawl, and the Muslims had been long enough in this area to know of the presence in the jungle of lions also. The men were less than thrilled with the idea of going into the forbidding jungle. Lo, they said to their commander, you have ordered us to build in an area of swamp and dense vegetation, which will not get any better. We fear the wild beasts and the snakes and other denizens. Then we have the charming story of how Uqba cleared the jungle of its unwanted occupants. In his army, he had 18 companions of the Holy Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and many sons of companions. He led them to the edge of the swamp and called in a loud voice, O serpents and wild beasts, O inhabitants of the valley, we are companions of the Apostle of Allah. Go away from us. May Allah have mercy upon you, for we are coming in. Anyone we find after this we will kill. He made the call 3 times. Then for 3 days, from sunrise till noon, Uqba and his soldiers would stand and watch in amazement the sight of the denizens of the jungle evacuating their jungle, lions and wolves carrying their young, snakes and scorpions carrying their young. They were allowed to go unmolested, by order of Uqba. Just the sight of these exodus as a result of Uqba's call had a tremendous impact on the local population, and large numbers of Berbers embraced Islam. As soon as the movement of the animals was over, and it took 3 days to complete, the Muslims moved in. Uqba planted his lance in the ground and said, "This is your caravan." The trees were cut, the land was cleared of unwanted growth, and the city of Caravan was built. Its construction began in 51 Hijri and went on for 4 years and before the city was complete. It was 36 miles from Susa, and for 40 years after the Muslims moved in to clear the jungle, no one ever saw a snake or a scorpion or a wild beast in Caravan. It was even said that you could not get one for 1,000 dinars. The city was to rise in glory as the Muslim capital of Africa and a center of learning, and would remain the foremost city of Islam in North Africa for 400 years.